to admit. Yeah, never done this. I'm hoping that the audience is going to be able to hear both of us as well, even though it looks as if they maybe can't see you.
Okay.
But they can definitely hear you. I hope.
I don't know how to fix that either, so the story's the important thing.
Let me just make sure that the audience can hear you. Can you guys hear both people talking? Hello, Taha. Gigi, can you hear both people talking? Or do you just hear me? I hope you can hear both of us. And I'm hoping that's... Yeah, absolutely. Please do, yeah. Hey, Jennifer. Can you hear the other person talking?
Hello.
Do you hear that? Did you hear that? Hello. She's a bit muffled. Okay.
No, okay. Let me make sure it's not my microphone.
I've turned mine up all the way.
That is what I'm about to do right now on mine. Is that any better?
Is that any better for you guys? It's very low, Gigi says. You can barely hear her. It's better? It's better. Perfect.
Okay.
Awesome. Okay, so let me take a minute to just introduce you guys to the voice of Karen Hewitt, which is the lady that you can hear talking. And we're going to tell her story that she amazingly survived to live to tell us. So I'm going to give the floor to her and yeah, let's go. Let's have at it.
Well, I really appreciate you having me on to share my story. I think it's really important that as survivors, we tell people that there is light at the end of the tunnel.
Yes.
When we're in the middle of it, it is so dark and you don't see a way out.
Yeah.
You don't think it's possible. So sharing what happens afterwards and during is really important.
Yeah. So let's maybe give them a rundown of your history, where you were born, where you grew up, and, a short description of sort of who you are.
Okay. Well, I was born in Manchester, England, and I grew up in a small town outside of Manchester. I went to school there. I even got married there when I was way too young to get married. It was just one of those things that within a couple of years we were like, yeah, this isn't exactly what we signed up for. But we were both too young and too stupid, and it actually got me a little depressed. I felt like I failed.
Right.
So I started looking for love again almost straight away, and I met somebody online.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, marvelous. He seemed fantastic. I flew out to Arizona to see him, and we got on amazingly. We really did. It was like, oh my gosh, I'm so lucky. This guy's amazing.
Oh.
It's fantastic. I was head over heels. I was puppy dog in love. And it came time for me to go back home to England. I went back home, and within 24 hours of me getting home, he called me and said he never wanted to spend a single night without me again, a single day without me. He proposed, I accepted, and we started the whole immigration process.
Okay.
And then I moved to America to be with him.
Wow.
So that was a huge step.
Right, yeah.
And I have to say, I thought I was the luckiest girl in the world.
Yeah.
all my friends, the few friends I had over here, I made them tell me how he was such a gentleman, so sweet, how lucky I was. If only their husband was like that.
Hmm.
And it was amazing at first.
Yeah.
At first.
So he would always bring you gifts and chocolates and flowers and just make himself look like Prince Charming to everybody around you.
Absolutely.
Right.
Southern gentleman. He was from South Carolina. He had that whole southern drawl.
Right.
Wore the jeans and everything. He was that stereotypical country type southern gentleman.
Right.
And he would take me on dates. He'd open the door, pull out the chairs. Just, if you could imagine someone being amazing,
Mm-hmm.
that was him.
When did you notice something change?
I actually didn't notice it change until much later, but looking back, I see where it started.
Okay.
He would always compliment me. Things like, oh, that you look so beautiful in that dress. That dress is so amazing. Oh, you look gorgeous. You're my, and he made me feel like I was on top of the world, the most beautiful girl ever.
Right.
But if I went to wear something different on a different day, he would tell me to go put the other outfit back on.
Hmm.
And he would do that every time. It was always about how much better something else was.
So he made it appear as if you were pleasing him by doing what he wanted.
Right? It was a lot of that positive control.
Right.
He had me dressing, having my hair, cooking meals he wanted on certain days because, oh, you make such a great meatloaf, made that on Friday night. And he would reward me for doing all these things right. And
Okay.
make me feel amazing and like everything was perfect.
Right. So when was the first incident and what happened and why?
Well, he didn't work, but I worked full time in retail.
Okay.
And I was late home by minutes. Just minutes. It wasn't even like I was an hour late or 2 hours late. I was just a few minutes home. As far as I remember, it was I hit every single red light possible on the way home.
Right.
I work at the normal time. It's just one of those days when everything could slow you down a day.
Right.
And that's when he hit me. And he was worried about me. That he caused me to get panicked and overreact. He thought I was maybe messing around, cheating on him. He kind of panicked. He got stressed out. He hit me. And then the next day, and this was about, it was just a few months into the marriage.
Okay.
Oh.
I'm trying to, sorry, just trying to move the camera closer to the microphone in hopes that that would help. Some people were still saying they were having trouble hearing.
No, I'm sorry.
No, that's okay. I don't think it's any of our fault. We have everything turned right up. So, so you were literally minutes late coming home from work, and he freaked out and hit you because you were late?
The next day, he told me that he was abused by his father growing up, that he had all these emotional issues, but I was the one that could help him, that I could save him, that it would never happen again. He was so sorry. He was worried sick and he overreacted. He had anger issues because of how his father treated him. And I actually believed that I could be the one to fix him.
Right.
And he was great to me again for a little while.
Right.
And it's actually a lot harder to tell the story on video.
Aw, don't be nervous. You're doing fine. I'm having lighting issues like crazy, but we're doing okay.
I thought maybe I could fix it.
Right.
I thought, love conquers all. And the next time I did something wrong, he was accusing me of cheating on him with my assistant manager.
And was there any truth to that or no?
Well, my assistant manager was married to another man.
Ah, so he was completely bringing things up that weren't even true at all.
Right. It was almost like I had another girlfriend.
Right.
And I never actually saw this person as a male in that way. I just saw him as a friend.
Yeah. Keep talking. I will be right back to my camera. Keep talking.
I never saw him in that way. He accused me of cheating. He got very upset, very angry. And that's when it escalated. One of these things he did after he thought I was cheating, I don't know if he meant to do this to hurt me, but to show he had control over me. He held a knife to my throat and told me that if he couldn't have me, no one could. That he was in complete control of my life, that I was his, that and he would also use my immigration, even though I was a fully legally immigrated person in society. I had all my paperwork, all my documents, I'd paid all the fees and all the things. He'd use that and tell me that without him, I wouldn't have a place to live, I'd go to jail, that if he couldn't have me, no one could. And I think that first time with the knife to my throat was him trying to control me.
Right.
And realize that he was the boss of me.
Okay.
I actually still have a small scar on my neck from it.
Mm-hmm.
Because it did cut. And again, the day after, apologies, flowers, and a huge teddy bear was one of the gifts. I mean, over the top. And he started to come to my work. Like I said, he didn't work.
Right.
I was the one bringing in all the money. He would sit at home and watch TV. I had to bring in all the money. I had to do all the cooking and cleaning, all the laundry, everything.
Wow, that's just crazy.
He started to come to my work. He brought me lunch at my lunch time and things like that. And everyone was, oh, I wish my husband did that. Oh, you're so lucky.
Meanwhile, behind closed doors.
Yeah, he was telling me how pathetic I was, how ugly I was, how he couldn't believe I was making him do these things to me. That if only I could learn to behave, if only I could do the right thing, if only I could be a good person. He criticized my looks, my behavior, my accent, my immigration. He basically told me I was this pathetic human being that didn't deserve to breathe, let alone have the joy of being able to serve him.
Oh my goodness.
And the worst thing is, looking back, I believe him.
Oh.
He'd spent so many months doing that positive, you look great in this dress, but you don't in that, put that on, that without realizing it, I only wore what he said I should wear. He only ate what he said I should eat. I only spoke to people he said I should speak to. He had complete control over my life. Even to the point I couldn't call my mother in England.
Wow.
Because he said it was too expensive.
Wow.
Because my mom, she was working full time at the time, she could only fly over every couple of years because it's not cheap to do an intercontinental, vacation.
Right.
And said she always wanted to save up like 3 weeks so she could do an extended stay.
Right.
He would tell me things like, if your mom loved you, if she thought you were worthwhile, I mean, really, she's just happy to be rid of you.
Wow.
You're not a good person. And I was believing it all because I had nothing to tell me different.
Wow.
The first time he tried to kill me, he had his hands around my throat and he was choking me.
Oh my goodness.
I don't know what made him stop because I was unconscious.
Right. Well, we had gone through your story together, and I believe that it was your dog that perhaps.
Well, that was the one where he was hitting my head on the concrete floor.
Oh, okay. Different incident. Okay.
Because at that point when he was choking me, she was just weak. She was like just a couple of weeks into the house.
Wow.
She was a tiny thing. She was just, but I don't know what stopped him at that time, but I was unconscious. I remember the world blurring. I remember not being able to breathe. And then I remember coming to, being alone, it being dark. And he was watching TV in the other room like nothing happened.
Oh my goodness. It sounds like he was very controlling, but he made it so positive. You barely, saw it coming in a way, right?
Yeah, I never saw it coming in because he made it all like he wanted me to look beautiful all the time. So he would tell me how certain things did well. He would tell me how, oh my gosh, I'm so proud of you for doing this. I'm so proud of you for getting a raise. But he still controlled the money.
Right.
I made all the money, but he controlled it.
Yeah.
Because he was at home, so it made perfect sense for him to go pay the bill.
Right, right. I had a situation like that happen personally myself where I was working and he wasn't, and I was entrusting him with money to go pay the bills and he wasn't doing it, and I ended up getting evicted from the place with my kids, never mind. So I can imagine that feeling when you're trying to trust somebody because you're already working so hard.
And we were living in his mother's house, and she decided to sell it.
Right.
So we got rented a place, and he was like, "This is going to be a fresh start for us. We can really make this home, and we can put all the past behind us and be a happy married couple again." And he chose the place an hour away from where I work, so it'd take longer for me to get to and from work. And I had to do everything he said when he said it. So he would ask me to make him a full breakfast, like fried potatoes and bacon and eggs. And I'd have to leave to get to work in like 5 minutes after he was asking. So it didn't matter if I was late. The punishment from him was worse than the punishment I would get for being late for work.
Right, right.
So thankfully, I was really good at my job. So they kind of looked the other way with my few lates and things like that.
Right, right.
But it was at this house where this is the one that I think was actually the worst. There was lots of hits, there was lots of kicks, there was a lot of beating. But the one that was the worst for me was we got into an argument again because I wasn't being a good wife. I wasn't doing what I was told. I was cheating on him. He even told his mother I was cheating on him. She accused me of cheating on him because he was her baby boy.
And with your gay coworker? That's ridiculous, right?
Yeah. And I'd even had to schedule this coworker on opposite shifts to me, so we worked together as little as possible.
That's just crazy. And he's not even interested, he's gay. Like, wow.
And a happily married
Yeah.
gay man at that.
Wow. Sheesh.
And it ended up with me on the floor, and he started it was a rental. So imagine rentals, they do it as cheap as possible. So it had really thin carpets and concrete floors.
Okay.
He was straddled across my waist, and I was on the floor, and he started lifting my head up and smashing it into the concrete floor. And he was doing that over and over again until I was unconscious.
Unbelievable.
I can't tell you exactly what happened for a fact after that, but I can guess.
Right.
Because I woke up with my dog licking me.
Oh my goodness.
And he had a bite mark on his hand.
Oh, wow.
And after that, my dog would always position herself in between us at every opportunity she could.
Oh, wow.
I think she bit him to get him off me.
Right. I have one of my not customers, I guess, one of my viewers here that's asking, did you ever try to fight him back, or was he just too big?
He wasn't big. He was 5'6", and he had just got me so emotionally beat down.
Right.
That I couldn't.
Right.
I froze, and I
Yeah.
think I may have tried to push him back a couple of times, but it always ended up being far worse.
Far worse for you, just because you tried to protect yourself.
I tried.
Right.
And so it just became habit that, take it. It'll be less if I take it and handle it and just go on with the day and try and behave better the next day.
Right.
And if I could just be good, if I could just behave, if I could just be the wife he wants, if I could just do what he needed, maybe I'd be okay the next day.
You're right.
I didn't tell you on the call, but one of the things that started to go through my head at that point was maybe he should just kill me.
Oh, man. Where you just get defeated.
At that point, I just didn't know how much more I could take, but I just did not feel like I could win.
How long was this relationship?
In total, it was about 5.5 years.
Okay.
And he started beating me about 7 months into. So if you include the dating I did before I went back to England and back, it was about 9 months.
Okay. Yeah. And you finally said, I've had enough, and that was in 2006?
Yeah, 2006. And that was after we had moved yet again, but he had me moved like 4 hours away this time, so I had to change the location that I was working at. That way I didn't have the assistant manager there, who was apparently the cause of all these beatings. So if I could prove that I wasn't having an affair by living on the other side of the state, basically,
right,
it would go away. And he started to get very erratic and very irrational. The hitting, the kicking, the punching increased over and over again. I was smothered with a pillow in the middle of the night. They woke up to him with the pillow over my face, all his weight on me.
Oh my goodness.
I started to, close to the end, I said he started to get irrational. He didn't care where the bruises were at that point, because beforehand he would hit me where I could cover it up.
Okay.
I'm in Arizona. We have 120-degree summers, and I would wear wrist length, ankle length clothes.
Oh my goodness. Wow.
And he stopped caring. He would leave bruises on my face, black eyes, split lips. I had a broken mandible, broken nose. And it took another coworker to help me.
Right. Tell me about that. Tell us all about that.
Well, again, I tend to make really good friends with gay men. I mean,
they are wonderful friends, aren't they?
I think it's because I'm kind of I was scared of straight men.
Okay.
I was scared of macho men. And he would start making comments like, I have this friend that's in this relationship, and if she ever needed to get out of that relationship, I would be there for her. He never told me it was me. I think he was talking about me the entire time.
Right.
But he was acting like it was somebody else.
Okay.
And he said, all she'd have to do is say 2 words, and I would do anything it takes to make sure she was safe.
Right.
I don't like it when men treat women badly, and I hate that she's getting hurt. And I think that, like I said, I honestly believe he was talking about me the entire time.
Right.
But he didn't want to turn around and say, hey, you're getting beat. Come on, let's leave.
Yeah. He was trying to be discreet, it sounds like, and gentle.
Yeah. And then one day he turned around because I came in with big bruises on my face, and he said, do not tell me that was the cupboard door again. Because I'm clumsy, I fell, I opened the cupboard into my face, I tripped. Oh, I'm just a mess. I'm just 2 left feet. And he just went, do not tell me that was the cupboard again, because that was not the cupboard.
Yeah.
And I was like, it wasn't. And he kind of got what was going on, but he didn't push me. He didn't push me to leave. Again, it was I'm here.
Mm-hmm.
And I just went back home.
Yeah. Yeah.
Sorry.
Almost just probably out of habit, right? That you had already been doing this for so many years.
Yeah.
It was the thing to do after work, right?
And yeah, I went back home. And then there was an incident early on, because I told you I had to make certain meals on certain days. It was complete routine and control. I made the wrong food. He'd throw it at me and then hit me. I burnt the food. He'd throw it at me and hit me. I didn't press a shirt the right way. I didn't clean something up.
Wow.
I had to work a full-time retail management job, which is, when you're in retail management, you're looking at 60 to 70 hours a week.
Yeah.
And it would always get worse in the Christmas season, when we're up to like 70, 80 hours a week, because Christmas in retail is insane.
Yes, absolutely. I've worked it. I know.
What happens, how I got out is one morning I just woke up and I'm like, he's going to kill me.
Right.
He's already tried. He's going to kill me.
Yeah.
And I thought, he's going to kill me if I stay, or he's going to kill me if I leave.
Yeah.
I'm going to die either way. I might as well try running.
Yeah. And that was in 2006, where you were like, I'm out.
I can't do it. So I talked to my friends,
and
it turned out his significant other works for the local police department, the sheriff's department.
Nice. Amazing.
And I was not ready to report him.
Right.
But I was ready to escape.
Right.
And because he never worked and he would never leave me alone, we had to come up with a way for me to have some time alone to pack and leave, because he knew where every single thing was. I couldn't move one thing without knowing I'd moved it.
So what did you do?
My friend actually broke the tail light on our car.
Oh, and what did that do for you?
The plan was, he broke it. I was to hide my ex-husband's cigarette papers, because he was a smoker and rolled his own.
Okay.
And I'd be like, oh, you must have used your last one. Why don't you just go and get some more?
Right.
So he got in the car, and the plan was to have him pulled over for a broken tail light. And the whole plan on that was it would have taken him about 30 minutes to go to the store, get the papers, and come home. This way I would get half an hour extra to an hour extra.
Okay.
And the plan was to give me the hour to an hour and a half to pack. And the plan was to stay at my friend's. He had a pool house.
Okay.
Just a simple, like, 1 bedroom with a bathroom.
Mm-hmm.
And he was like, we'll put you in there and then we'll find somewhere.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't know, and they didn't know, because they never checked his record when they did this. He actually had warrants out for his arrest.
Oh, what for?
I believe it was driving on a suspended license.
Okay.
I didn't know his license was suspended.
Right.
I had no idea.
Mm-hmm.
And it was like tickets, unpaid tickets, bench warrants, and things like that. So he ended up getting arrested for all these warrants. And this was on a Friday night. So I didn't go to my friend's place because he went to jail.
Right. Okay.
So okay, so now we have a weekend to make a plan, because he's not going to get to see the judge until Monday.
Okay.
So he's going to be stuck in the jail anyway until Monday. There's no way he's coming out.
So what did you...
We were going to use the weekend to plan.
Okay. What did you plan?
Well, we called my landlord, who got us a different house.
Okay.
Apparently he owned 3 properties in my state. And he went and he drove from California to give me the keys to the new house.
Okay.
And moved to my friend. They actually moved me with their guns and everything on them. They came fully armed just in case.
Oh, wow.
And moved me to this new house.
Okay.
I went back to work on the Monday because I didn't know what else to do. Just gotta do what you got
What
to
you do, yeah.
And I was a mess. I was crying all day, and I almost went and bailed him out of jail and begged for his forgiveness.
Oh, wow. Aren't you glad you didn't do that, eh?
I'm glad I did it. And that afternoon, my friend told me to retain a lawyer.
Okay.
For a divorce and get a order of protection.
Okay.
On the order of protection, the judge he didn't list my new address. The lawyer put his office address on the order of protection because they didn't want him getting my address.
Yeah.
And listed the company that I worked for. And he was to stay 50 yards away from where I worked. He would literally, once he got out of jail, he would stay 50. I think he measured probably when the store was closed, and he would stand 51 yards outside the front window of my store.
No way.
And because he was outside the 50 yards, there was nothing the police could do.
Wow.
I ended up having a full-on nervous breakdown.
Right.
I ended up with a therapist.
Okay.
Who diagnosed me with anxiety, PTSD from the trauma. And I was trying to get treatment for that, and we got to go to court for the divorce.
Okay.
And as you can probably guess, mediation didn't go well.
Right.
Because he was not willing to, he wanted me to pay him every month spousal support.
He wanted alimony? Like, seriously?
Yes. He wanted me to pay him $1,500 a month alimony, plus pay several of his bills and his health insurance.
Unbelievable.
And my lawyer said no.
Mm-hmm.
Because I couldn't even speak in that room.
Right.
It was like such a mess.
Yeah.
No. Not happening. And I still hadn't reported what he did.
Wow.
My lawyer knew about it because my friend had gone with me, so he was like, this woman, she's getting beat. This is what's happening. This is disgusting. We can't do this anymore. We need help.
So what happened in court after he couldn't get alimony in mediation?
He also wanted half of my retirement funds and everything like that as well. We had to go in front of a judge. And my lawyer, he was like, I know you're not up for this, but I need to show the judge your medical records. because we had the medical records for all the breaks.
Okay.
My sneaky friend, who had been the one that was saying, I have this friend, he was constantly taking selfies of us together. So he had all these pictures of me with bruises on my face and on my neck.
Oh, man.
But I didn't realize he was taking the pictures
to have that. Yeah.
I just thought he was taking pictures because, oh, we got this new phone in. So I was in electronics. This new phone in. Let's try it out.
Yeah. Isn't it a good thing that he did do that, though?
Yes, it is.
Mm-hmm.
So I told my lawyer he could show the judge.
Right.
And the judge was like, he denied everything. He's like, this was not her, because he was accusing me in the divorce of being the reason why the marriage failed. That I was cheating on him, I was having all these affairs. You would think the way he was describing me, I had like 20 men every week.
Wow.
That's how he was describing me to this judge.
Right.
And I was 110% faithful to him the entire time.
Right.
And the judge was looking at all the medical records, and I remember seeing the judge's face just drop when he was going through the paperwork.
Oh, wow.
And he told him he wasn't getting anything of it. And
good job.
It caused my ex to completely freak out.
Right.
He lost his cool. He completely lost his calm. And he started threatening me in the court.
In the courtroom, in front of the judge?
In front of the judge. He was going to break my face into 1,000 pieces with quite a few F-bombs thrown in there.
Oh my gosh. So what did the judge do when he heard that?
Oh, he got dragged out by the bailiff and put in jail.
Nice. Very nice.
So, he completely lost it, and he was just going crazy. Now, the sad thing is, I started to see him everywhere. Everywhere I went, even when I knew he was in jail serving time for him having a complete freak out in the court,
right.
I would go to Walmart to get some groceries and I would see him. I would leave my house. So I ended up not being able to work for nearly 2 years.
Oh, no.
I got diagnosed with agoraphobia because the minute I took one step outside my house or even looked out my window, the thought would flash in, he might find me, he could find me, he could find me. And I would have a complete panic attack.
Oh, my goodness.
Not be able to function for the rest of the day.
Wow.
I kept track of him for quite a while.
Mm-hmm.
And he ended up, after he got out of jail, he ended up going back to Southern Carolina, which is where a lot of his family was.
Okay.
And that was when I started to get a little bit braver.
Right. So tell me about how life is for you now and, how you found love again.
So after he left the state and I could find that he was in a different state, I took a couple of years to try and be me again because he had totally changed me.
Right.
I was scared of everything. And I tried online dating again because, I was kind of scared to go out to a bar and meet someone because it was too crowded.
Mm-hmm.
Because even though I was feeling a little braver and able to do little things, I still have panic attacks when I left the house.
Right.
And so I started online dating, and I'll tell you, I went on quite a few first dates.
Okay.
And once I can't tell you the tone because I don't remember it, but he took me to a restaurant, and he suggested that I ate something different than what I was going to order.
Okay.
I don't know if that was him trying to control me or just he'd been there before and thought this was the best dish in the entire menu and he just really wanted me to try it.
Right.
But 1,000 red flags went up.
Right.
And I bailed very quickly.
Mm-hmm. But then 2009 came around.
Yeah, 2009 came around.
Tell everybody what happened.
I met this guy online, and we actually went to eat at a little restaurant. The restaurant actually kicked us out because we were talking for 6 hours.
Oh, wow.
And we were there past, we was like, we've been trying to close for the past 45 minutes. We actually went from that little Italian restaurant to Denny's, which is a 24-hour restaurant, to get our dessert so we can continue talking.
Nice.
We had a second, third, fourth.
Nice.
And we will be celebrating 10 years together.
10 years.
10 years.
10 years of marriage. After everything that you went through, you were able to not allow it to block your heart and go and find a wonderful man. And you guys even have 5 children together now, right?
5 kids together.
That's amazing.
And he's had to deal with a lot with me because he knows that sometimes I get overly emotional and sometimes things scare me.
Yeah.
And, panic attacks. I actually had a panic attack week yesterday at an event I was at because it got too crowded.
Okay.
And he would talk me through it. He would reassure me. He's always been kind. If I ever said, he buys me clothes and he will tell me, if you like it, keep it. If you don't, we'll change it.
Aww.
And the one time he got one of those telemarketers on the phone, the ones that are so persistent and annoying.
Yes.
He got frustrated and he stood at the other side of the room and he's frustrated and he's waving his hands around and the phone went flying out of his hand and went like several inches above my head.
Oh my.
And he realized that happened and he said, no, that was an accident. I'm so sorry. No, because he knew that I'd had things thrown at me so many times.
Right.
He was like, I need to make sure she's all right. And he would do everything. And my husband, he's the one that encourages me to share my story.
Right.
Because people think they're alone in there.
Yeah.
You're isolated and you feel like you're the worst person in the world and nobody in the world is as bad as you and you deserve it. And the more I share my story, somebody might hear it and go, hang on, I'm going through something similar. I'm not alone.
Yes.
Someone might see the fact that I managed to find someone who adores me and I adore him.
Yeah. We
have 5 very happy kids.
That's awesome.
And he puts up with my crazy sometimes when I get because I'm still diagnosed with PTSD, anxiety, and agoraphobia, and I've been told there will be years and years and years of things that will trigger me.
Right. Yeah, of course. Mm-hmm. And be gentle on yourself. You've been through a lot,
I'll never be the girl I was.
Right. But you're a stronger woman now, right? This is
going to sound crazy. I'm happy I was the one that went through that hell.
Mm-hmm.
Because I went through that hell because maybe the other person that might have gone through that hell with him may not have survived.
Mm-hmm. Yes, exactly. That's very possible.
And then I can tell people that they're not alone.
Some of my commentators are saying you're so brave. They have tears in their eyes listening to your story. How wonderful, that it's awesome. Congratulations. I mean, the comments are pouring in, honey.
I'm honestly trying not to cry.
Aw. It takes a certain kind of strength to come and share your story and let others know that maybe dealing with something like this, that they aren't alone. And there is, there is an out if they want to try to take it,
Yeah. And it's hard. The one question I got so often after I left, even from my therapist, was, so why didn't you leave earlier?
Right.
And it's like, I didn't think I could.
Yeah.
I honestly, I thought I was trapped. I thought I couldn't do any better.
Mm-hmm.
He had me so messed up in the head.
Yeah.
Every single punch, every single kick I deserved.
So sad. I'm so happy to hear that you're so happy now and that despite going through this, you've overcome it, and you're stronger now because of it. And I mean, I don't think anybody will ever mistreat you now. You know, you're going to see that coming and say, hold up, wait a minute, you know,
Yeah.
that is not okay with me.
Yeah. And that positive control is a real thing. I mean, if it gets to
Yeah.
the point where they're telling you everything you should wear, even if they're saying, but you look so pretty in this, but you look so pretty in this.
Yeah. Yeah, but that positive control, people maybe need to be aware that that's even a thing, you know?
Yeah.
You probably, like, I don't even think that I would have seen something like that coming had I not have heard this story from you, and how he was. He gently was trying to make you feel like doing what he wanted, wearing what he wanted, making what he wanted to eat was the way to do things. And then when you didn't, it was punishment. Like he had the right to do that at all? No, you know.
Oh, yeah. I honestly did not see it coming.
Yeah.
And by the time it was happening, he'd already managed to mess with my mind so much with that positive.
Right. That sounds
Mind.
scary because you think that you're pleasing your partner, and who doesn't want to please your partner and wear something that is appealing to them, or make something that they love, or do something that they love, you know? But when it becomes where you can't even make your own decision about anything regardless, or change your mind, you know, that's where I think it's very wrong, right? It's abuse at that point if you're going to make somebody do something, or you're going to mistreat them because they didn't, right?
Right. And I had to do and wear and say and speak every way he said.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I had so many rules to follow. It was insane.
And your new husband, you say he cooks, he cleans, he cares over the top. He's the complete opposite of your ex, right?
Right. He does.
Yeah.
He cooked dinner because he knew I was doing this call. He's like, okay, I'll make dinner. Don't worry.
Yeah.
He does anything that needs to be done. He doesn't demand anything. He suggests things,
Mhm.
but I think that's completely. He's like, what do you
Mhm.
think about going and watch this movie this weekend? And if I say I don't really want to see it, he goes, no worries, I can wait till it's on TV.
Mhm. Right.
There's absolutely nothing
Yeah.
controlled by him.
Mhm. Well, we are all so happy that you were able to come and share your story with everybody. I think that the positive control thing is a real and scary thing, and women and men and all kinds of relationships need to be aware, you know, that if you're having your choices taken away, you're not being treated properly anymore, right? And that's not okay. Everybody deserves to have a voice and be heard, right?
Right. And it's completely okay for your spouse to request a few things.
Right.
Nothing wrong with going on a date and wearing that little dress that your husband likes. Because
Exactly.
there's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah.
It's every day, every outfit, every moment of your life.
Yeah.
That's the problem.
Yeah, that is a problem. Yes, you're right. I'm so glad you were able to come and we were able to connect this, and you were able to share this with everybody. Everybody's thanking you, and hashtag survivor. There's light and love at the end of the tunnel. You know, the new husbands, you know, raise them up type thing. So real men will treat you like a real woman was one of the last comments that just came in.
I'll definitely have to go back and just respond to a whole bunch of the comments after this.
Yes, I would love for you to do that. It's been so wonderful to have you here, Karen. I think you're an inspiration, and I thank you for, you know, it sucks you had to go through this, but I thank you that you could find the courage and strength to share that with everybody, so that maybe one person watching that might be going through this might change what they're, you know, they'll be like, I'm going to leave this now before everything gets too bad or something, you know?
Yeah, that's why I share this. And hopefully, if I can help one person,
Yeah.
it's worth it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly. Yes, it's been a delight. I've loved meeting you. I love talking with you. I think it's going to be, awesome to maintain a relationship together as friends, long distance.
Yeah, I love connecting with other survivors because I honestly believe the only way we're going to get through this and get stronger and get better, everything is together.
Together. You got that right. You got that right. Yeah. Well, I wish you a wonderful night, my girl. I hope that your husband and your kiddos are anxiously awaiting for you to come back to them now.
I really appreciate you having me on, giving me the opportunity to share my story.
Absolutely.
Even though I'm going to go cry for a few minutes.
That's okay. It's therapeutic in a way, right?
Yeah.
Yes. Well, much love to you, Karen, and I thank you again for coming and sharing your story with everybody here. I look forward to staying in touch.
Yes, please, let's do that.
Absolutely, darling. All right, we will speak again soon, and thank you everybody for viewing. I hope you guys all have a wonderful evening. Bye, lovelies.